Let's just jump right into it. We all kind of think of our past as this fixed, unchangeable thing, don't we? Like it's all been carved in stone. But what if I told you that's not the whole picture? What if your past is less like a history book and more like a story? A story you tell yourself over and over, and a story you actually have the power to change. Wow, that quote, it really hits home because it gets to the heart of why this is all so important. You see, the stories we tell ourselves about our past, they're not just memories sitting on a shelf somewhere. Nope, they become patterns. They are literally the blueprint for our future, for our relationships, for how we see ourselves. And if we don't consciously work to repair a broken story, well, we're pretty much guaranteed to repeat it. I want you to really think about this for a second. What does a museum curator do? They carefully preserve things, they display them under perfect lighting, they write those little cards explaining why they're so important. Now, be honest with yourself. Are you doing that with your own pain? Are you constantly revisiting old wounds, polishing up every detail of a past mistake, and basically giving your trauma this VIP spot in the museum of your mind? Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. Here's the powerful part. For any single thing that's ever happened to you, there isn't just one story. We actually have a choice. And it basically boils down to two very, very different kinds of stories we can tell. You see, when we're stuck in that curator mode, we're not just remembering. Those past hurts become the glasses we see the entire world through. So if your story's about betrayal, guess what? You're going to start seeing potential betrayal everywhere you look. If your story's about failure, you might actually, subconsciously, find ways to fail again. The story we choose to curate literally builds the future we're going to live in. And this lays it out so perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you have the contamination story. Think of it like a single drop of black ink in a glass of water. It just ruins the whole thing. A great success is ruined by one tiny criticism. In this story, you're the victim. But then, look at the other side, the redemptive story. This is completely different. Here, the bad thing, the struggle, that was the very thing that led to your growth. It wasn't a failure, it was what made you stronger. In this story, you're not the victim. You're the hero who overcame. It's the exact same events, but the meaning is night and day. Okay, so the big question is, how do we actually make that shift? How do we go from telling that contamination story to a redemptive one? Well, it's not just, wishful thinking. There's a real, powerful psychological tool designed for exactly this. It's called narrative reidentification, and I just love that phrase they use here, surgical precision. This isn't about slapping a smiley face sticker on a bad memory, right? This is about being intentional, careful, like a surgeon, going into your own personal history and changing what that story means and what power it has over you. And this is so, so crucial to understand. We are not trying to pretend something didn't happen. The events are the events. What this is about is taking something that was once a source of pain and consciously re-identifying it as a source of strength, as a lesson learned, as the moment you became resilient. You don't forget the scar, you change the story of how you got it. So the best part about all this, it's an active process. It's something you can actually start doing for yourself right now. So let's get practical and break down the steps. And it's actually a pretty simple 3-step process. First, just isolate one story. Don't try to tackle your whole life at once. Just pick one thing. Maybe it's a story about a time you really embarrassed yourself. Second, find the redemption. Now, this can be the hard part. You have to really dig. What good came from it? Did it teach you humility? Did it make you more prepared next time? And then third, you tell the new version out loud to yourself, to others. Your story is no longer, I failed miserably. It's, that was the moment I learned a crucial lesson about. And ultimately, that's the whole game right there. You stop being the passive curator, just dusting off old relics of your past, and you become the active author, deciding what it all means. You're taking control of your own narrative. And really, if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this: the power to define your past, and by doing that, define your future. Well, it's been with you all along. Because your past isn't some locked document in a file cabinet. It's not a final verdict on who you are as a person. It's a story. And like any good story, it's open to interpretation. It can be edited, it can be reframed, and it can always be retold. And the most important part? You are the one holding the pen. You get to decide if the story is about contamination or redemption. You decide if you're the victim or the hero. So, the real question isn't about what's already happened to you. The real question is, what are you going to do with it now? The pen is in your hand. So, starting today, what new chapter will you write?